Hey, what's up guys? Rory Powers here with IGN, and today we're going to be taking a little bit of a closer look at the two first levels of Unravel. And to help me do that, I'm joined by...
Martin Sahlin, creative director at Coldwood and creator of Unravel.
Great, so you'll be able to help me with this, right? You'll be able to give me some top pro tips on how to succeed as a yarn creature.
Yeah,
I don't have a lot of experience in that field.
Our philosophy to the storytelling is basically to give you a lot of stuff that you can use, that you can create something out of, but we try to not just like shove it on you.
Yeah,
so basically the story is there for you to find. You can discover it if you want to, but we kind of do it passively. Like we provide you with the clues, but let you assemble them into your own like puzzle. So
to start, what is sewn into this pillow? Is this a language that I should know?
Yeah, it's in Swedish.
Swedish, of course, yeah. Right. What does this say?
It says happiness blossoms out of the little simple things.
Oh, already it's a great start. We've seen old people smiling, we've got nice pillows, I'm an adorable yarn creature. One of the things that I really, really like right off the bat is actually the way, I mean, a lot of these puzzler platformer games, you know, you've got your foreground and your background, but this game kind of achieves it through soft focus. You know, so it feels like everything's on the same plane, but you know that focus really makes a divide.
Yeah, it's been kind of a challenge to make it work, but we figured just like it was important to make it look like real places, like real things, and just so try to be as subtle as possible with the divide between foreground and background. But I think it works quite well. Perfect. So you have basically like on your left hand you have like the tail end of the yarn, and on your right hand you have the front end of the yarn, and you can throw it like a lasso and grab things.
Got it. Man, even the grass in this game, this grass looks better than grass looks in real life.
And that's one of the thoughts that we had, that just since you're playing a character that's so small, it means that you get really close to everything and can like really see it up close. We talked a lot about just, you know, showing off like ordinary stuff, but just showing how actually beautiful it is. Did
you guys have to go down your hands and knees and investigate the smaller worlds in preparation for this game?
Pretty much. We've had like these awesome field trips actually. It's been really cool. Like, we based all the environments on our home back in the north of Sweden. So we basically just like packed a bunch of guys in a car and took off to our favorite places and just like took thousands of images and just crawled around in the underbrush taking pictures and stuff.
That sounds great.
It was really fun actually.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
So he's strong. He's got some upper body strength.
Yeah, the arms look thin, but they're surprisingly strong.
That's what people say about me, actually. Yeah. One of the ideas behind the concept that I read was that, you know, as you travel further from the thing you love, you leave a part of yourself behind. I thought that was quite an interesting interpretation of the game. But I think that is part of the beauty behind the game, is that it can be open to interpretation.
Yeah, and I think it's relatable actually to most people. I mean, it's quite nostalgic, but that's also because, I mean, nostalgia is a pretty powerful tool.
Oh yeah.
First off, it starts off with just basically nature. So this is sort of the back garden. You know, it's just outside a house, and it starts off in summer, but then you get like the other seasons as well. So we're from the north of Sweden, so we had to make some snow levels, of course.
Does the environment affect you at all? I'm not doing so well.
Water does have negative effect on you.
Totally. I was like, wow, Yarny's getting a little slow here. His vision's getting a little blurry. So Yarny
it's starting to turn blue.
Okay, I'll learn from my mistakes. So stay on the apple, I think is solid advice.
Yeah, or actually get some more apples, I would say. Or that works too, but you have to kind of move it closer to the other side. Yeah,
that's a good idea. What's the easiest way to get these apples across? I just worked it out, I think. Do I build like a string ramp?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh, jeez. I think a lot of the people online, at least from the videos I've seen, is everyone loves the game, they love the music, they love the atmosphere, but there's this sense of sadness about the game, and I think everyone is a little afraid of where it's going. I think if you have a character that is naturally literally unraveling as the story goes on, your natural instinct is to think that it's going to go somewhere that leads a little bit dark. So I don't know if that is the case, but it's nice because you're adventuring through all these really bright and happy places, but there's always a sense of, I don't know, you're always a bit scared of the impending doom that might come at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to just have a little bit of dark to balance out the light.
What was the kind of process for creating the puzzles? Did you have to test them through a bunch of people to make sure that this wasn't an incredibly difficult challenge?
Yeah, we've tested them quite a bit. We try to do lots of like fresh eyes testing as well, like people who just like haven't played the game or haven't played games at all, actually.
So this is where it becomes a racing game, right? Where I pull out my machine guns and go flying down the garden path.
It goes Mad Max from this point on.
Witness me, and I'll run down the hill.
The garden wasteland. Yeah, you need to grab that one up there though.
Yeah.
First. What you can do is actually, I mean, if you tie onto it, you can kind of use it as like a safety, like an anchor. So in case you should miss the next one, then you just like have the tail.
That's a great idea. I didn't
onto.
even think about that. I'm going to do that right now.
It sort of depends if you want to go like Maverick or if you want to
yeah,
play it safe.
No safety nets. That's not my style. All right, so I think what we're probably going to see here is our first physics-based puzzle, which presumably it's going to fall when I go here.
Yeah.
So we need to get our block on this edge and make sure Yarney's safe for travel.
Yeah, unless you want to get fancy, there's a secret hidden around here. So there's a...
Oh, all right. I might take a little look for a secret. I'm also kind of scared if I step on the other end, the box will catapult up and kill me.
and crush you.
Yeah.
that will be fun though. This puzzle was so much fun when we play tested it, because some people had so much problems with this and just like they didn't know how to get past it. And when we play tested it with kids, they didn't even know it was a puzzle because they're like, it's a tire swing, I swung on it. Yes. But some people, like some older people that were trying it on, they just like, why is there a tire hanging from the tree?
What does this signify? What could this possibly mean? So where did the actual like concept for Yarny come from? Did he have like a lot of different faces and designs before we kind of reached this point?
Not really, actually. It is pretty much the first iteration, like with some minor refinement, but it basically, like, once I made it, it just felt like, you know, this is what Yarny looks like. I don't want to do more iterations. I'm happy with this. It's like there were lots of discussions, like, should Yarny have a mouth? Should Yarny have, I don't know, eyebrows? Or like no.
Mustache.
Like, we're not gonna change anything. Like, this is Yarny. We're not gonna mess with it.
I think it's great. It's just enough. I mean, it's all you need. The real detail and the characteristics come from his movements and the way he interacts with the map more than any, you know, facial expressions or anything like that. So we're back in our lovely little warm, cozy house. We can go back to our picture book now. And am I right to assume we got some photos?
Yeah.
Are these in place for you to kind of try and decipher and piece together a narrative? Or is it something that becomes like a larger picture as the game develops?
It kind of depends on how you see it. But yeah, it doesn't read like a comic book. It's more like a set of clues for you to try to, you know, piece things together.
I think a brother and a sister went into a barn and climbed some trees.
Yeah, that's the traditional Swedish game of kubb, throwing sticks.
Is that a real game?
It is a real game. It's actually like hundreds of years old. It's like proper traditional.
So what presumably you don't just throw sticks at each other. Do you just throw sticks?
That pretty much sums up the entire rule set. Just like throw sticks at each other.
That's an old UK game actually. Beat each other with sticks. So we can't go to this level yet, but we can go to the sea?
Yeah. This is actually one of the first levels that we decided that we should have in the game. Because when I made the first concept, I was on a camping trip with my family, and we were pretty near like the coast. It's a place we used to go to, and we have this thing we do where the kids they catch a lot of like little crabs down by the seashore and put them in a bucket, and then we have a crab race. So like pour them all out, and the crabs run back to the water. So we definitely knew that we were going to have a sea level.
A beach level.
Yeah, and it had to feature crabs as well.
Ooh! See, this is why it's always important to tie yourself to things.
Yeah, but it's okay because it's still wrapped around that branch, so you're good.
Those are my lessons, I think, if anyone wants to take away from this Let's Play. Stay in school and tie yourself to as many things as possible all day.
I'm not sure it applies to like all different aspects of life.
Well, you know, if you're afraid that you're going to lose your kids, if you tie yourself to them, they're probably not going anywhere. All right, here we go. We got a bit of a catapult.
You're
nice.
Kind of low on yarn, but you might make it.
Oh!
Try pulling it.
Come on.
You made it.
Oh my gosh.
It was kind of funny when we did this part. That was actually right when Flappy Bird came out. So the original incarnation of this was a little bit harder than this one was.
I'm wondering if... there's the crab. Okay, that's where I need to stay away from. I had to learn that the hard way. And there's no way I can like tie up his little crab hands or anything. I just should pretty much stay away from him.
Yeah, I think it's best to just avoid them.
Okay, rule of thumb. That's another good lesson, kids. Don't aggravate crabs. So if you grab onto, maybe I should have tied myself to that. Actually, you know what? Let's go grab this yarn. Water rises, water rises. That is definitely an important thing to know. Okay, that's one of the things I loved, especially. Whoa, let's go back up here. Okay, it's tough to get the momentum before the wave comes.
Oh, you got it.
Okay, I thought that was gonna get me for a second.
Yeah.
From the first footage I kind of saw of the game was the water.
It's basically, it's kind of like a never-ending thing. Like you can always like improve it and improve it and improve it, but it's just been so much fun. And especially like when it sort of opens new possibilities to create puzzles.
So I can survive for a short amount of time in water? Or did I just get very lucky there?
You got very lucky. Normally the wave kind of like just like washes you away, but I think you were just close enough to make it.
Once again, totally intentional.
The music was, we developed it alongside with the game. It was part of this whole idea that we wanted to make something that was really personal, like why we based it on like our home environments and stuff like that. So we wanted to create music that also sort of felt like home, basically. So that's why we based it on folk music, and that's why we use so many like traditional instruments and stuff like that. And the cool thing is that the composers have their studio just right across the street from us.
Really?
So they were basically like totally part of the development process.
So they had footage of the game?
Yeah, exactly. I basically brought them footage and told them what every level was about and you know what was happening in the story and what the tone of it all should be, and then they wrote music to it that we then sort of adapted so that we could dynamically mix it together along with the gameplay. It was actually kind of fun whenever when we were developing the game and whenever we like play the wrong thing in the wrong place, everybody immediately said like, well, this is weird because the music has become so like intrinsically like linked with the different settings. So when you hear the wrong thing in the wrong place, it sounds strange. So that must be a good sign that it really does fit.
It fits, yeah.
With the right place. Yep, that's a good idea.
Make our little bridge and then carry whatever the heck this thing is straight across. What is this?
It's a boat fender.
Oh!
We had so much when we were demoing this part at Gamescom live on stage, and I was trying to just figure out what these things were called in English.
Oh.
So I was asking someone, and he said it's a buoy. It's like no, you can't say it's a buoy. I can't say buoy. I can't stand on stage and say buoy. It's impossible to say. So then we realized like no, it's actually a boat fender. That's much easier to say. So if you just walk down there and provoke them a little bit, they'll start chasing you. Ah. And when they chase you, you can kind of.
All right, come on, you idiots.
Use that.
Come on, stupid crabs. All right, here we go. There we go.
That didn't even look hard.
That was absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed that. That was your look at the first two maps of the game. Now, of course, as we discussed, there's a lot more going into some darker territories, some different elements. I'm definitely excited to see more, to see where the story unfolds, whether the narrative is as much of a part as we want it to be, or if you just want to have some fun and swing from the yarns. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.